Like many of you, I slept very badly Wednesday morning, but when I woke up, I realized that it is always better to have certainty than uncertainty. And with that certainty, the certainty of what America chose for its future, came a clarity that honestly I haven't felt in a very long time. Part of that was simply knowing the results of the election, obviously, but in seeing the demographic breakdown of the vote, um, just understanding in a way, perhaps because of my inherent optimism, because of my inherent belief in human goodness, I did not allow myself to see. In this map, we see what I consider to be a violent representation of the rightward shift in the vast majority of counties in America. This is alarming, it's unsettling, and it's an image, quite frankly, haunts me, but again, offers a significant degree of clarity in terms not only of where we're heading, but what exactly we're fighting against. Here's a breakdown of the demographics of voters by race. This breakdown offers real clarity of where we are in terms of racial demographics and who is supporting whom. Obviously, an overwhelming percentage of white voters voted for the Republican candidate. This should not surprise us, just as it should not surprise us that a the vast majority of Black Americans supported the Democratic candidate. There are some alarming shifts, particularly among the Latino community, that we are going to need to figure out, especially in the context of the very specific threats against Puerto Rican Americans that Donald and his minions have lobbed, in addition to the threats, which I fully believe they are going to carry out to deport or detain or imprison tens of millions of immigrants. Here's another map in which we see how votes broke down by the intersection of gender and race. As usual, it is not a surprise that white men, by 60% of the vote, went for the Republican candidate. None of these numbers, again, except, the numbers of Latino and Hispanic men voting much more significant numbers for the Republican. None of these numbers, other than that, really have changed that much over the last 2 or 3 elections. However, the fact that 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump after 2 years ago, the corrupt, illegitimate Supreme Court, uh, supermajority in the Supreme Court took away women's rights to choose. And in more than half of the states in this country, women are second class citizens. And it is very, very likely that the Republican Party, which now has the White House and at least the Senate, will vote in a nationwide abortion ban. Okay, so this is all overwhelming, and I understand if you're feeling angry and demoralized. I would much rather have you angry than demoralized, but we can take a beat. It's early days yet. And to help position ourselves properly, I wanted to play this clip from Vice President Kamala Harris's speech yesterday.
The outcome of this election is not what we wanted, not what we fought for, not what we voted for, but hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright. As long as we never give up and as long as we keep fighting.
Hearing Vice President Harris's voice break, is heartbreaking, but she's right. And also, the fight never ends. Democracy isn't an endpoint, it's a process. And even if we had won the election, that is a fight we would continue to need to be engaged in. The difference is what we're now fighting for. The battle lines have been drawn very differently over the last few days. President Biden reminds us of the accomplishments of the Biden Harris administration and what we need to look towards in the future.
To all our incredible staff, supporters, cabinet members, all the people who've been hanging out with me for the last 40 years, God love you, as my mother would say. Thank you so much. You put so much into the past 4 years. I know it's a difficult time. You're hurting. I hear you and I see you. But don't forget all that we accomplished. It's been a historic presidency. Not because I'm president, because what we've done, what you've done. A presidency for all Americans. Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people, but the vast majority of it will not be felt over the next 10 years. We have legislation we passed that's just only now just really kicking in. We're going to see over $1 trillion worth of infrastructure work done, changing people's lives in rural communities and communities that are in real difficulty, because it takes time to get it done. And so much more it's going to take time, but it's there. The road ahead is clear, assuming we sustain it. There's so much we can get done and will get done based on the way the legislation was passed. And it's truly historic.
Well, all due respect to President Biden, who is and was the best president in my lifetime, I am not so sanguine about the ability for his accomplishments to last into the future. We know that Donald Trump either took credit for President Obama's accomplishments or he undermined them completely. We need to be on our guard against this. Also, I think we need to hear more from Democrats. When we believed that we were going to win the election, our mission was going to be to hold Democrats' feet to the fire to make sure that they did everything in their power to make this a true democracy, a multiracial democracy in which all people were really equal. President Biden has fewer than 75 days left to the end of his administration to push through as much cha- uh, significant and life-altering legislation as he can. I urge him to make use of the power that has been conferred upon him before it is too late. But we also know that the right is just as afraid of the future they help to usher in. Listen to this clip from Fox in the wake of the election being called for Donald Trump.
Um, the question is what the Republican Party looks like now. And Kayleigh, it's a multiracial party, to your point. It's working class. And maybe it's the future. I mean, it's Elon Musk. It is Joe Rogan and podcast. It is.
In case you couldn't hear that, that was a Fox producer on a hot mic saying in response to Brett Baer's acknowledging that Elon Musk is now a powerful member in the American government. Oh Lord, they know what they've done to us. They know what is going to unfold. So, what are we going to do about it? Well, first of all, we need to take care of ourselves. We need to give ourselves time to regroup, to reflect on how we got here, and to think long and hard about the roles we can play going forward. This was a blow. I can't sugarcoat it. This was a tragic, tragic blow to the American experiment. We also have to remember that we do have allies across the world who are aligned with us and will be there for us if we need them, and we will. Please look at this clip. Here are female leaders from around the world declaring their solidarity with American women, even when white women in America are abandoning us and their own children in droves. There are a lot of people out there who understand what we're going through, who understand the dangers we're facing, and who understand the fight ahead of us. We have to remember that fascism takes hold when we're silent. Fascism grows stronger when we obey and advance, when we cede ground, when we make common cause with the people who want to harm us and who want to take away our rights. There is so much to be done, and I know it's hard, and I know it's sad is not a strong enough word to describe the feelings all of us are feeling right now. But we have each other, we are in this together, and if we want to win, we have to stay in the fight. If we want them to win, we can give up, but we won't do that here. Thank you. Hey, everybody. In case you weren't aware, I am spectacularly bad at self promotion. So here goes. Please subscribe to our channel and like and share our videos. Your support means so much to all of us. Thank you.